Grok 4.5 has just released. And currently, if you were to look at the benchmark, you can see that Grok 4.5 sits between GPT 5.5 and Opus 4.8. And now if we were to look at the cost comparisons, you can see that Grok 4.5 is way cheaper compared to something like Opus 4.8 and also GPT 5.5. And if you were to look at all the large language model intelligence index, you can see that currently Grok 4.5 here sits at number 4 here in the ranking. So that's why in this video, I'm showing exactly how you can set it up in your own AI agent. And most important part is, should we even make the switch from the existing model that you're currently using right now? Either you're using this to manage your second brain or building applications. That's what we're going to answer in this video. So pretty much that's what we're going to cover in this video. If you're interested, let's get into the video. Now, before we continue, I recently launched our school community where I help you to master AI agents, automations, and building real AI products. This is coming from someone who used to work as a senior AI software engineer at companies like Amazon and Microsoft. And in this community, you are going to get full AI builder roadmap where you're going to start with AI automations, then later on moving into AI agents, research systems, SaaS buildings, and eventually how to productize and market your AI skills. You're going to get the templates, workflows, weekly live calls, and direct community supports. So when you get stuck, you can ask questions and get help right away. And the goal here is not just to watch more videos. It's actually build, post your progress, get feedback, and start to level up. So if you're interested, make sure to jump right in, start the first course, and I'll see you in the community. All right, so to get started, first thing first, if you want to installing your Grok 4.8 inside of your AI agents, all we have to do here is we're just going to using our OpenCode. Now, OpenCode, if you never used it before, is similar to Claude Code or Codex, but you can be using any model you like, and all the frameworks, all the tools, all the AI agents here that you created, skills, are all going to be consistent with any model you're using. So simply all we had to do here is just going to type in /connect, and this allows us to choose any provider we can use. So now if I were to click on enter for this, you can see that we can be able to browse all the providers here for our large language model. Now by default, if you want to use like pay-as-you-go, like an API base, then OpenCode Zen here is the best option. Because what it does here is that you load up some credits very similar to OpenRouter, where let's say if you load up like $10, for example, then it will basically just gonna cap it with $10, right? So it's just gonna be pay as you go or pay as you use, right? Based on the usage that you're using. Now, the other option you can do here is if you're using the SuperGrok subscriptions, what you can do is you can just search for XAI. And here you can see we have the XAI provider. Simply just gonna click on enter right here. And simply just gonna choose the first option, SuperGrok subscriptions, and just gonna click on enter right here. And simply all we had to do here is we're just going to authorize it inside of a web page to authenticate it with our XAI, and just going to click on allow right here. So once we allow, you can see that we have the option here to choose Grok 4.5 from our SuperGrok subscriptions inside of our OpenCode. So if I were to click on enter right here, you can see we're automatically connected with Grok 4.5 inside of our AI agent, which is our OpenCode. So now what we can do here is that if I were to say hi, for example, you can see if I were to send a prompt, and now you can see we're getting our response back from Grok 4.5. Now I said Grok 4.8. I'm sorry about that. It should be Grok 4.5. So let me just gonna correct that, make that correction right here. So what we can do now is let's try to test it with a real practical use case to see how we can be using Grok 4.5 here inside of our real project here. Now to test it with a real project, here you can see inside my school classroom, I have a course called AI Research and Knowledge Base. So what I have built here for my second brain is this is basically my second brain like Eric OS, my context, my raw folders, all the research, the skills, everything with Obsidian here is all managed inside of this entire folder. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start up my OpenCode right here. And you can see that currently we're using the Grok 4.5 as the model. So what I'm going to do here is I have a skill that I built inside of my classroom, which is like the board member skill, where I can be able to have my context here, right? To basically give it to a board member or an advisor that I train. Let's say it could be like, Alex Hormozy or whoever that's like really famous online, right? Try to pull those informations, their transcripts, build a profile on it. And basically what we can do here is that anytime if I have a hard decision that I make in my business, I can just trigger that skill and it's going to give me a second opinion from that board member here based on the situation I have. And the member here, the advisor here actually has access to my knowledge base so that it can reference things based on my knowledge, right? And also the problem that I have based on the prompt that I give. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to trigger this instead of Grok 4.8. And I'm also going to do the same thing with a different model here using GPT 5.5 and see which one actually makes a big difference here. So I'm going to click on connect right here, and we're just going to choosing GPT 5.5. So in this case, I'm going to choose the model here instead. So because I already have the GPT connected. So we're going to use the GPT 5.5 OpenAI. So one is GPT 5.5 and the other one here is Grok 4.5 here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to trigger the skill. So in this case, we're going to reference skill. It's called ask the board. And in this case, we're just going to give a normal prompt. So I'm just going to say, based on what we have currently inside of our current context, right? For how our business work, what is our goal? So what I'm currently stuck on is growing my school community. Can you fetch the latest information from our school, right? And be able to pull that from the raw folder and also synthesize that inside of our context. And then what I want you to do here is I want you to answer this question like why we're stuck and how can we improve it, right? So currently we're stuck at a certain number threshold. And what I want to do here is I want you to, think about that, trigger the skill and help me to, see what kind of decisions, what kind of things that we should start making right now to solve this. So that's basically my prompt. You can see it's not really perfect, but I'm just going to send it over to Grok 4.5. So I'm going to using the same skill inside of the GPT. And in this case, we're going to using the ask the board. And in this case, we're going to paste the same prompt that I paste in Grok 4.5. We're going to do this for GPT 5.5 as well. So in this case, let's wait for a bit until it fully completes. Okay, so finally you can see that we have our response here generated. So here's the decision. So how do we break the school stale for the member account here? And is the real bottleneck acquisition or activation? So here you can see this is the current state. As pull those information, it gives you a really clear table, which is really good. Okay, so that's a really bonus. And here you can see this is the business goal. It has refer the goal that I have referenced inside of our context. So by the way, this is actually stored inside of my second brain. That's why I was able to reference that. So if we were to scroll down, here you can see we also have our advisory advice. So just to keep everything short, basically the two model here actually give us very similar stuff based on the context. So one is recommending we should show more wins. The other one here show more like monetizations here, like building out course for focusing on a bit more on level 5, which points out the right thing, right? Which is really good. You can see here that if we scroll down, there's some tips and tricks like action items that we need to do here. But what's really surprising here is the amount of token that it costs. So you can see that by total, it's only costing 84,000, 70% of the context window. But if we were to take a look at like what GPT has given me, that's like over 200,000 for the context window. That's a lot, right? For the 200,000 tokens that I consume, which clearly up to like 51%. But I read the whole thing that both model here have given me, and they both said pretty much the same thing. Like if you look at the advisors that we have here, you can see one advisor shows, hey, we should be able to show more the wins, right? Like, okay, well, I help how many people here inside of the community here to build this, and also if you take a look at the other person here, it shows like, hey, we should focusing a bit more about like, hey, building out the community, the monetization courses a bit more, right? Building out the big products, right? So things like that. And you can see that they are pretty much giving the same, pretty much the same stuff. Like you can see there's the call to action stuff, which are very, very similar, okay? But it just really depends on like, okay, what kind of model here gives me like different, better outputs. But pretty much they're all saying the same thing. There's no anything that overlook, like one model overlook the other one. So, but the thing here is that you can clearly see that GPT definitely consumes more token compared to that one. But I definitely see that the size of the text here actually generate a lot more than using with something like Grok 4.5, right? Because Grok 4.5 here, the goal here is try to keep the output here, just try to be more concise as possible so that it actually consumes less token. But then you can see that GPT here actually consume more token because the output here is actually longer. Now, I also did a test for building an application. So what I did here is I asked it to say, hey, why don't you, based on what you know about my context, let's say if I want to build a pet shop landing page, why don't you do that, right? Based on my context here. Let's say my business here today pivot to building a pet shop. I want you to building a landing page. That's exactly the prompt that I gave it. You can see I'm currently using GPT 5.5 here to build this entire thing. And you can see it has finished this. So if I were to scroll all the way down, you can see I said, what skill have you used? It's basically using like front-end design skills and these skills from superpower, like brainstorming, writing plans, test-driven development here, which is good, right? Which is pretty correct, right? You're supposed to using those skills here to build these things, which is good. But now if I were to head over to like, for example, Grok 4.5 here, what I really like about it here is that it actually triggers user question a lot to, clarify things as we go. But I definitely think that Grok, or in this case, Grok 4.5 here definitely triggers skills that, GPT 5.5 would not trigger, right? For example, the impeccable skills, GPT 5.5 didn't even trigger that. And the other part here is that I definitely ask a lot of clarification questions, but let's just try to take a look at the final result, right? So here you can see this is what the Grok 4.5 here actually generated. Here you can see this is what it looks like. So it kind of feels quite AI slop. I won't say one is better. If we were to take a look at what the GPT 5.2 here generate, you can see this is what it looks like. So the text here is okay, but then the SVG here doesn't look so good, right? You can see there's this kind of like glass look here. We can scroll down, you can see what's behind the scene. There's like some hover effect, which is pretty cool. And pretty much that's it, right? So you can see this is the GPT 4.5 version of it. And then this is what the entire Grok 4.5 here has generated for me, okay? So we have our hero section, our cards, there's no animation at all. And pretty much we have our footer here. So really normal, but you can see this is what it generates, okay? And finally, for Grok 4.5 here, you can see I asked a question like, what skill have you triggered to generate this output? You can see that Grok 4.5 here actually triggered more skills, right? Like things like using superpower, brainstorming, writing plans, things like impeccable here for planning phase actually triggers more skills. Maybe not the best outputs, but it definitely triggered the right skill, okay, to get there. But we can definitely see that for GPT 5.5, it didn't trigger as much skills, but I definitely feel like GPT, it gives you more stuff, right? Like for example, if you take a look at what GPT actually give us, right, inside of the page, you can see there's different tabs here that we can see. And furthermore, you can also be able to get some animation going on, which is like not something that Grok has given me, right? So these things actually doesn't really do anything. So in this case, I definitely think that maybe Grok loses on that one, but even though that it triggers more skills, okay? So that's exactly what my take on like how I think of it. And the last part that I want to talk about is just like what's my final thoughts for this new model. After been using this for the past 10 hours or so, my take for this model here is definitely a really good model, but it's not compared to like model like Opus 4.8 or like those top tier models that we have, because those top tier models, they cost more, but they really get you the results that you want. But for Grok 4.5 here, it's more kind of like a fast model, can get things done, right? Kind of like replacement for Sonnet, right? Because Sonnet 5 here just came out and is also really expensive, but you can replace that with something like Grok 4.5 here as an implementer, right? As an executioner, and using Opus or using like Sonnet, or sorry, GPT 5.5 here, extreme high for planning, and using something like Grok 4.5 here for execution, then that's going to be a big buck saving, right? That's going to save a lot of money here, a lot of tokens. So pretty much that's my take for using this model. Comment down below, what's your take for this model after using it? And also, if you do find this video, please make sure to like this video, consider subscribing for more content like this. But with that being said, I'll see you in the next video.